Wow, congratulations, you made it. Wow, 20 lessons. Well, in total, about 22 lessons or so. Wow, okay, so let's quickly review what you've learned so far in this module, right? Because I wanted to, bring everything home and to summarize everything in one lesson, one video lesson. All right, so I'm just gonna go through each reason, so each problem and the proposed solution, and then, and then I want to know pretty much, what your specific problem or problems are and the solutions that you're going to try out. All right, so the first reason we talked about was the fact that you're using the wrong hair product, and the solution for that will be just to use the right product, and it takes trial and error, right, to be able to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And the second reason is not using enough product, and or not putting enough products in your hair. So I recommended using a divide and conquer approach, to make sure that you put enough product on your entire hair. The third reason, you're probably using too many products at the same time, right? And the solution for that will be just to minimize the number of products that you are using, and just try one new product at a time, rather than buying a bunch of new products and then you want to try them up all at the same time, right? And then the next reason we went over was product conflict, right? So it's very similar to the third reason, right? So I propose using one brand or products from the same line or from the same brand, right, at a time. So that way you can sort of use them together and see how effective that brand or that product line is. And then the fifth reason, inappropriate use of hair product or product mismatch. So that's when you use your conditioner as shampoo, or deep conditioner as a leave-in conditioner, right? So I recommend it just using the product as recommended. So if it's a shampoo and you're supposed to wash it out, then do it as directed. And then I went over harsh shampoos, right? So some shampoos are not great for natural hair, especially type 4 hair. And then my proposed solution was to use sulfate free shampoos, and I shared a link to that blog post, or I shared the resource to a blog post where I recommended some sulfate free shampoos you can use in your hair. All right, and then the next reason we went over was the quality of the ingredients in your hair product. So, and then I recommended opting for healthier alternatives. So a lot of natural hair products, especially natural hair products owned by black women, and again I have that blog post about black owned hair companies. So a lot of those companies, a lot of the products, again not all obviously, a lot of them they have like healthy natural ingredients. All right, the eighth reason could be your environment. So this is one of those reasons where you can actually blame something else that's outside of your capacity. And so I recommend it, well, move, but then obviously that's extreme. So you can just protect your hair outdoor. If it's too hot, wear a hat. Too cold, wear a hat. Pretty much the same thing. And then the ninth reason, the quality of your water, right? So that's the temperature and also the mineral level in your water. So I recommend using filtered water if possible. And then the 10th reason we went over was the use of synthetic hair extensions. So some extensions can actually suck moisture out of your hair. So I recommended using like moisturizing the hair extension before and putting oils on it before. Alright, so the 11th reason we went over was your head covering at night. So how do you protect your hair at night? How does your hair go to sleep, right? So I recommended wearing a satin gear, right? So it could be a satin bonnet, satin scarf, satin pillowcase, whichever one, satin bed sheets, whatever it is, that you find the most comfortable. All right, the 12th reason is I went over how much you know about the scientific nature of your hair, so how much you know about black hair science. And then I recommended that you just go back to that module, first module, so you can understand how your hair looks, how your hair works. The 13th reason, cuticle degradation or unhealthy cuticles. So I recommend preserving your cuticles as much as you can by being gentle and using the right product in your hair. And then the 14th reason I went over was infrequent hair trims. And again, I recommended trimming your hair every 3 months. And then the 15th reason was inappropriate use of hair tools, right? So combs, bobby pins, whatnot, right? So you want to make sure, number one, that you get rid of any bad hair tools, and that you're very careful when using all these products. And then the next reason I went over was hair color. So I mean, it's great, it's colorful, but if you can, for now, right, because your hair, it is just too dry, it's not healthy, right? So just avoid hair color, or I recommend using temporary hair color that you can just wash off after a few days or so. All right, the 17th reason, use of heat. Again, avoid heat appliances right now. And then I recommended 10 ways, right, that you can actually stretch your natural hair out without using heat. All right, and then the 18th reason, infrequent cleansing, right? So I recommended putting shampoo in your regimen. So by shampoo, I mean a sulfate free shampoo in your regimen, and then you can use it to wash your hair at least once every 2 weeks or so. And then the 19th reason is the overcomplication of your hair routine, right? So, and then the solution that I proposed was to just do what's necessary, right? So you only need 5 steps, right? And you only need like 5 products. And then finally, I went over lack of hair regimen. Lack of hair regimen can make things complicated and overwhelming and just frustrating, right? But when you have a regimen, when you have a plan, right, when you create one that's also personal to you, that makes sense, that's realistic, right, then then it makes the whole natural journey simpler. All right, so let me know in the comment section below which problems, right, because it could be many, which problems do you think relates to you and the solution that you're going to be using. And you can always come back to let me know how your hair is faring after trying all these tips. All right, so choosing the proper solution. So now that you know what might be causing you to have dry hair, it's now time for you to go and practice those things, right, and to actually use those solutions that I shared, right? So again, remember, this list isn't exhaustive, meaning that there might actually be more reasons or whatnot, right? But these are like popular reasons that I've seen out there. All right, so how do you minimize dry hair when it arises? So simply, so now that we just went through, like, this lesson, like this module is so long, right? So what you have to do will be just to watch out for any of the 20 reasons that I provided, and just go and put in and practice the solutions that I recommended for each problem, right? And and then you can move on to the next tip and the next tip until you found the perfect solution, right? So just watch out for what might be going on, right? So if it's, let's say, in the summertime your hair looks great, and then in the winter time your product, everything stops working, then okay, so it's probably my environment, right? So maybe I need to put more oil to my hair, use a thicker product, protect my hair outside, when I'm outside, put my hair in a protective styling in the winter time or whatnot, right? So just going back to each reason, and then just using each tip, right, every single time, because there's a reason why I listed 20 reasons, because trust me guys, the nature of our hair, type 4 hair, it gets very dry a lot, right? So maybe you might be able to stop dry hair now, but like 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, you might encounter something else, right? Like you might buy a new hair product, to try it out, and it stops working, and your hair, feels funny, or maybe it's been a while since you got your hair trimmed, and now it feels dry all over again, right? So just know that, maintaining your hair, maintaining your natural hair, it's something that's ongoing. It's not something that you just do today and you forget about it. The fact that you still have hair on your head, right? You just put in like a few minutes per day to maintain your hair, and trust me, you're gonna be much happier about it. All right, so that's it for module 4. Wow. All right, so if you have any question, as always, leave it in the comment section below, and if you have a specific question, you can always send me an email. All right, take care.